Hello, Soul Tribe. This is Renee Asiri from InsideJobHealing.com. Wow, this is the energy forecast for this very, very volatile week. Thanks to Mars and thanks to Mercury being in Pisces, it is a wild, wild week. If you can, just don't go outside. No, I'm just kidding. And try not to communicate with anyone because verbal conflict is in the air, and so is misinformation and mistruths, and so is our wounding coming up, our collective and individual wounding. So let's just jump in, shall we? Okay. So I alluded last week that this week was going to be crazy, right? So I have to tell you, it kind of came to a boiling point this Sunday. I just kind of was like so frustrated and so angry. I felt like I was on my Mars line when I remember when I was in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I was telling a lot of my clients and my friends that I was like a total biatch and I was super pushy and I had road rage and I just like couldn't stand anyone and I was like easily triggered. Okay, well that happened on Sunday because we're just kind of reaching this boiling point, this volcano, and it's coming to a culmination by this Sunday, which is the full moon in Libra. Okay, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, usually Libra is so great. It's the full moon. It's about balance and harmony and all that good stuff in relationships. Well, guess what? There's a lot of stuff in play in the cosmos, so this is going to be kind of a little bit of a volatile full moon. So just a heads up, when you know what's really going on, then okay, I'm not crazy, I'm not just being a biatch, or I'm not just like being quick to get angry or whatever. You just realize like, oh my gosh, the cosmos are actually affecting me, and the full moon and the new moon affects us as well because we're mostly water, and as you know, the moon actually affects the tides in the ocean, right? So it's nothing different. So that's why on full moons and like classrooms, the kids go crazy. Hospitals, ERs go crazy, nursing homes, people are affected and they have no idea. So when you listen to stuff like this, please share it with your friends, subscribe, like, invite your friends to follow. If they're not on Instagram, they can, definitely watch me on YouTube, Rena Inside Job Healing. So it just helps people understand what's really going on. It helps you navigate your week, right? So last week was really chill, so it was a great time for you to like sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace or, have, different deals or look for a subletter or whatever. It was a great time because it was pretty chill. But this week is crazy, right? So I would highly recommend not getting reactive with your partner or your love interest or your family members. So if you have big conversations to talk about, just completely don't have them this week because there's going to be misunderstandings and there is going to be conflict. Verbal conflict. Now, why is that? Okay, well, Mercury is in Pisces, like we said, okay? So Mercury does not like to be in Pisces, and it's in its detriment, right? And Mercury is the communication planet, right, which rules Gemini. So it rules communication, technology, short-term travel, things like that, right? So sales, marketing, things like that. So you don't want to have big conversations this week. Trust me on this one because you're going to be triggered and you have Mars also not in a good place, and so you're going to have some verbal conflict. And also when Mercury is in Pisces, it's hard to get the truth or have clarity. It feels confusing because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is the planet of like airy fairy, looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. It's a really good planet for creatives if you're doing astrocartography and want to live on your creative line but not for other people. And so when you have Mercury, the planet of communication, and a sign that it doesn't like, which is airy fairy, watery, intuitive, not logical, there's going to be some like misinformation and confusion, right? So right now, this week again is not the week to make big bold decisions, not the week to have really deep discussions because you're going to feel confused and you're not going to feel like you're getting the truth because there's a lot of mistruths, right? And so in addition to that, you have Mercury in Pisces in conjunction with Neptune, right? So remember, Neptune rules Pisces, but also because of that murkiness, right? Having that conjunction, that's what's going to cause the misinformation and the lies and the deception, right? So be careful with that. And then it's square Mars, okay? And Mars, if you recall, is the planet of, it's the warrior planet, right? It's the planet of action and ambition. It's the planet of divisiveness, separation, conflict, right? So it's just a very, very fiery, volatile planet, and it's square, which is a negative aspect. It's not a good thing. It's square to the communication planet. So therefore, that's why you're going to have verbal issues. And it's been known that when there's been that kind of Pisces, Neptune, and Mars square situation going on, that there's a lot of violence, right? So hopefully we're not going to have shootings or violence. But there is a very strong chance that you're going to have miscommunication, confusion, deception in the air, and also verbal conflict, because you have conflict, which is Mars, and you have Mercury, which is communication. So please be careful. Try not to have really big discussions, really serious discussions. And if you already know that you have a tumultuous relationship with your partner, just try to kind of, not react and avoid any serious discussions, okay? So basically that's what we're dealing with here. It's very, very volatile. And on top of it, not only is Mercury in Pisces in conjunction with Neptune square Mars, Mars is in conjunction with the North Node Gemini, okay? So we've talked about this before. Gemini is in the North Node, Sagittarius in the South Node, right? And that was going on for a few months now, and these nodes happen for about a year and a half. So we said that anybody who's a Gemini, basically everything they touch turns into gold. We said that a lot of the education's moving online, which it has. Digital courses are booming. Everybody's on Zoom, right? We're learning differently. We're meeting differently. We're communicating differently, and that's because Mars is the Mercury rules Gemini, which is the novice learner sign, which is the communication, sales, marketing, all that. So we're learning online, we're innovative, especially with the age of Aquarius, which is a very innovative, forward-thinking humanitarian sign. So we're already seeing all that. A lot of colleges are still online, right? Or going hybrid. So all the things that were predicted by the astrologers are happening, right? So what does that mean? We have Mars not only square with Neptune and Mercury in Pisces, but we also have it in conjunction with the North Node in Gemini, right? So whenever you have nodal activation, which is what's happening here, so nodal meaning the North and South Node, which I mentioned are Gemini and Sagittarius right now, it's almost like a precursor to the eclipse energies of the summer. So the summer is going to be extremely volatile because we're going to have a lot of eclipses, especially starting around my birthday, the end of May. And so whatever you put into the works with the Sagittarius full moon in December, the blood moon is going to come to fruition at the end of May with the moon in Sagittarius coming around again. So really, we've been planting all these seeds. But to come back to the full moon in Libra, the reason why this is such a volatile week as well is because it culminates in Sunday in that full moon. And the full moon is going to bring up our wounding, right? Our karmic, karma, and our, that's what nodal activation does as well, is brings out karma, right? So it's going to bring up karmic wounding from the past. It's going to bring individual wounding. It's going to bring up the collective wounding, right? So those things that we haven't really fully dealt with. And then especially we just had the spring equinox on Saturday, and it kind of as a collective brought us into this very kind of like self-reflective mood, almost like kind of brooding mood on Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, like I said, it was like a boiling pot, a volcano, very explosive because of that Mars energy, which is going to be released finally on Sunday. But then we were very volatile and feeling very angry and frustrated on Sunday, and now our core wounds are coming to the surface. So things that we haven't healed, things that we haven't managed. So things like, for example, if we've been let down by people and we keep seeing this pattern over and over again, or we've been abandoned by people, or we feel like people have been ghosting us or whatever, right? Or we've failed at businesses, or we haven't followed through. Whatever our core wounding is coming to the surface. So it's not really fun, but I encourage you to be in the observer neutral role and observe these things. And if you need to reach out to a professional like myself, who's a healer of a high caliber that can help you process your wounding, whether it's through the digital course or through one-on-one work, I highly invite you to do that, because these things are not going away. We need to deal with them, and they're just being brought to the surface, especially with the nodal activations, right? And also it's important to note that it's the North Node in Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So do you see how it's all connected? And also we have Venus in Aries to its detriment. So not only do we have Mercury in Pisces, which it doesn't like, we have Venus And Aries, a sign doesn't like either, very fiery. Aries is actually ruled by Mars. So it's kind of all interconnected, which is, again, the planet of war and violence and divisiveness and guns and all that. So just not very fun for Venus. And then it's also in conjunction to Chiron, which is the wounded healer. And that's why a lot of our individual and collective wounding is coming up. So we need to face that this week. We need to self-reflect. We need to journal. And we need to feel to heal. We need to allow everything to come up to the surface. Please be careful not to get into too many verbal conflicts. So just be aware of that. So try to avoid people that get on your nerves or annoying or frustrating, or combative or anything like that. Just avoid them altogether. Just remember, like, Aries people, I had an Aries person in my life try to pick a fight with me, and I just was like, okay, I gotta go. And that's because Aries is ruled by Mars. Scorpio people, they're ruled by Mars and Pluto. Pluto's the planet of intensity and transformation and death and all that. So again, if you have Scorpios in your life, Aries in your life, try to kind of maybe minimize contact this week. And also even Geminis, like I'm a Gemini sun and Gemini with all the Mercury activities and how it's square Mars and all that. People in Gemini are really feeling this, whether you're a Gemini sun or rising, right? So again, if you need to slow down your communication with Gemini people, including myself, then go for it, because they are being extra triggered this week. So I hope you guys find this helpful. So just to recap, Sunday was very volatile, a lot of anger, a lot of Mars energy. So for those of you that are interested in your astrocartography, you never want to live on your Mars line, because what I experienced on Sunday and what I experienced in San Juan, Puerto Rico is exactly what you would experience like every day. So, and you don't want to live on your Mars line. Unless you're a healer, you don't want to live on your Pluto line. You usually don't want to live on your, moon and moon nodes and stuff, because it's very karmic. And you usually don't want to live on any line that's like, for Neptune, like I said, unless you're an artist or a creative or a photographer, an actress or something like that. You don't want to live on your Neptune, because you're going to see the world with rose-colored glasses. Usually you don't want to live on your Saturn line, because Saturn's about limitation, fear, and the status quo, and and hierarchy, and it's very like full of responsibilities and just not a very fun, very heavy sign to live on that line. So if you're interested in exploring your astrocartography and understanding, what lines are going to be supportive of you in your love life or your business partnerships or your career or anything that you're trying to do, your home life, just definitely hit me up. And if you want to learn more about my Lifestyle Reset Thrive course to help you unleash your power and be the best version of yourself and create your dream reality, hit me up. Renee Siri with InsideJobHealing.com. Love you guys.